the biggest bum in his own anime, and his main enemies are.
Yeah.
Oh, we're all up?
We all up? Hello!
Oh,
Well,
Hello, chat.
hi, hello, and welcome to the Roomba of Thought. Say hello, goobers.
these are a little bit different this time around.
The intonation!
Those were words.
Oh, Sam, you have to change your icon. Ah, there we go.
I know! I got pink!
We sat
Good.
here for an hour. How did you forget to do that?
Because I have ADHD.
You have been talking. We had nice talk,
I've been busy yapping. True. Good point.
It's
and now we continue yapping.
I'm
Professional yappers over here.
I'm gonna say it again. ADHD. I've got ADHDs up in here. Anyway, let me do my
ADHD's
bit.
nuts.
Let me
Haha,
do.
Gotti.
Let me do my hello bit
Oh.
for the day. Out at the speed of sound. Got places to go. Gotta follow my rainbow. There we go. Did it.
I think you already followed your rainbow. I'm gonna be honest.
All right. So then, how's your weeks this week, everybody? Let's start. Let's I'm not drunk. I'm just slurring my words because I think it's funny.
You're pretending.
I'm pretending because I think
it would make going through life these days a lot easier. Let me tell you.
I think it's funnier when I'm put on the spotlight to pretend I'm drunk.
Pretend you're Demo Man TF2.
Yes.
Look, it's just easier.
It's
It's just easier.
Yeah.
It helps me channel my nervous energy into something.
So, shall we go for everyone's weeks?
Yes. How about we start with you, Bolt?
Are we allowed to do that?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Spoke up first.
How about you speak first?
let's just
I'm being mean. I'm voluntolding. I'm sorry. I'm being
let's
mean.
just change it up a bit for this one time, I guess. For the most part, the week has been uneventful. I had Thursday off due to a holiday that was happening.
Yeah.
It's essentially a bit after Easter where it celebrated that he went upwards, if you know what I'm. That's a day that we got off, so
Yeah.
I had
Over
an
here it's
extra
called
long
Christi
weekend.
Himmelfahrt.
What?
Over here it's called Christi Himmelfahrt.
Yes. Yes, that's what it's called. Yeah.
Ah, it's also over there like that? Okay, good. Don't know.
It's indeed for that one. And I also got to play Warrior Move It for the first time because the game looked fun. I played it. Yes, it's really that fun.
I've heard it's one of the best ones.
I mean, to be fair, it is a spiritual successor to Smooth Moves. So
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Smooth Moves for some reason because my brain doesn't know all
No.
the titles of
no,
WarioWare.
Move It is for the Switch. Smooth Moves was for the Wii.
Sorry, Smooth Moves is the one that I hear everybody say is so good.
I haven't
Oh
played that one,
no,
but
it's the
it definitely
GBA
looks
one
fun.
with the rotation, isn't it? I don't remember. I don't know the WarioWare games that well.
But I do think that Move It is definitely a good spiritual successor to Smooth Moves, though. I mean, when one of the forms is literally called Baka, and it is what you think it is. Need I say more?
Yeah,
Yes.
please do.
You're down one hand to your face, the other behind to your rear end. You're asking for it, I will do it, damn it.
That's fair. We're just being jackasses, so.
But that's kind of been my week. Also, I did manage to get one of my friends into Spiral Knights, so yay. And I adore the fact that I can hear the curiosity and everything and the reactions that they give. It's hilarious. But that's been my week. How about I give it to you, Amy?
Yeah, I felt you would be pretty short, so I was just like, hey, you spoke up first. Go ahead.
Yeah, now you go.
All right. Let's go ahead and get started with some weekly stuff of the Emmys and
Oh,
Okay.
damn.
I'm sorry, my brain short-circuited.
Oh my god.
My
What?
ADHD has been in full force this week.
Well, I got on the right one as well.
Start
The Windows
speaking
XP
about the
shut
week! Just please!
Like, I don't have access to the soundboard, so I had to fucking do something.
Plan C. Leave.
My ADHD, I think that's
Yeah.
the way to start.
We're absolutely
fucking
professionals, by the way.
My ADHD has been in full fucking force recently, and I don't know how to fucking like get it in control. I think part of it's because one of my meds has just not been redone, and it's partially because of insurance. We'll talk about that. I don't want to talk about that right now.
Enough, yeah.
But this week was a Poke Farm type race, and oh my god! I don't usually talk about these, but oh my god! Holy shit! There
Holy
is...
macaroni.
I don't even know how to explain this, but basically, you know how shinies are pretty infrequent in Pokemon? Well, Poke Farm made them slightly more frequent due to, well, obviously, how fucking many there are. And of course, they have their other forms. Their albinos and their melanistics. But I was just on a roll because all I'm hunting for are shinies to get my cool little class things that do nothing, and also I just want to make number go up. And I just got so many. I almost have 1K. I've been sharing that with everybody in the images. And despite being busy and not really providing too much to the team, I at least got a lot of shinies. And I'm happy about that. Including at the end, I got shinies for things that weren't even in the type that I was working for, which was normal. I got a random Mimikyu, which was good because they randomly patched in the busted form Mimikyu in the middle of the type race. I'm a little upset about that. Why did they do that? They could have waited. They couldn't have waited until after the type race was done. And then they decided, oh hey, we're also going to do the Mega Skarmory and Mega... I actually forgot what the other Mega was that they did for from ZA. And also do it like right at the end of the type race. I didn't have a shiny Skarmory that was free for that, so I was just like, oh fuck me. But I got a shiny Skarmory, so that was fun. That was really quick. That's why I have 7 left to get to 1K. So that was really fun. But that's just that. Outside of that, Games have been all over the place between Jimmy and I struggling to get the clam co-op to work. Clam being Cult of the Lamb, for anybody who's not in the know with my lingo. Because I've been just... I don't know why, I just like saying nonsense that sounds like funny words that work for it. And just, yeah, that's what it is to me now. Then the week for work was all over the place. I don't want to talk about it. Week for insurance was all over the place. I don't want to talk about it. But outside of that, we have some really entertaining things all in the box, and I learned some things about certain series that I gave thought about that I also put in the idea box that I felt like you guys would find entertaining. So I hope that you guys enjoy those topics when I throw those in. On top of all of that, I'm gonna throw these in right here, right now. I just closed the book, or at least closed 2 final bosses of 2 campaigns that I have been in. So I'm going to start with the longer one of the 2. Because the second one we talked a lot about before the Roomba started. The first one has been going on for like, what, 4 years now? Oh my god. It started like right after, or right before fucking, oh my god, I don't even remember when it started. It was like 2021? 2022, I think? It's been a while. But basically, it's a campaign where I play as a robotic character who is essentially a reflavor of the Warforge. And basically the setting is a sci-fantasy-ish setting with a lot of commentary on stories, a lot of commentary on other things, and a lot of intrigue, a lot of all of this shit, and it's surprisingly deep for a D&D campaign, and I'm surprised how fucking deep my boyfriend went with this, and holy shit, it was incredible. I had a lot of fun, and it ended yesterday with us absolutely destroying the final boss with a cool epic finale. That was kind of ruined for me. Because I kept failing everything. Every save was failed by me. Every fucking every time I went into attack, that I rolled like shit, even though I did hit. Mostly just because my attacks were good enough. I go in to do something to protect a member that I see as squishy because that's just what my character would do. And they don't tell me about a feature that they have that they would revive if they had been knocked down. So I'm protecting them, and then they just decide, no, I'm protecting you now. For no fucking reason. So I'm just sitting there like, my choice was invalidated. I was trying to do something cool because you guys were like... Because like he had the one MacGuffin that was... Because he was inside the boss doing the one thing... Doing something with the MacGuffin that like... You know, and he was at 1 health. 1 HP! And my character just saw... Squishy dude go inside of boss, and I was just like, I will go help. Which, logic. And even if that isn't logic, that's just robot lady finally developing emotions and being like, irrational decision, you know? makes sense. All of this makes sense. But then he threw out this emotional moment for, yeah, I was gonna revive anyway.
Uh-huh.
So I felt like everything I did in that moment was just tossed down a stairway. Like,
Yeah, I
bro,
understand.
I just felt like everything I did for like something that was interesting. They were trying to protect me when I was like trying to be cool, like interesting for my character, and it was just like, okay. It was deflating. Incredibly so. It would have been fine if that weren't the case. But I guess everything else was fine after that. Not really much else to talk about without going into super long detail about the story. But the other one, 4 of us were here for. Unfortunately, one of us is away and doing things, and he says he's busy.
Yeah.
So I think maybe I'll let Meep take over, because it will also lead into his week, technically. I think it makes more sense for Meep to explain, honestly.
Huh?
Oh,
Explain what?
Wow, you really weren't paying attention.
Sorry.
I was
zoned
leading
out.
into... Damn. I was talking about how we ended 2 campaigns this week.
Oh,
And how one
technically
of
we
them...
didn't end ours, but
Well, technically we
The
didn't
last one is
end
a wrap
either
up.
of them. Technically we didn't end either of them. Not both of them are wrap-ups and epilogues and shit like that. I'm saying we wrapped up the gameplay segments.
yeah.
But
yeah, that
basically,
was this week.
I was passing it over to you because I was like, oh hey, this would also be a good point to pass it over to you, because it would also be a good lead into your week.
Yeah. So that was the big thing this week, was Amy, Jimmy, Darius, and one other of our friends. I run a D&D game for them, and they fought the big bad this week. They killed it, and then they killed it again because it got back up. Ain't never gonna keep me down, except they did. So, they nearly died several times. I think the paladin, who's the one person who's not here, got knocked down, was it 3 times?
Yeah, and I got knocked down about as much, if not a little bit less. Yeah, Kingsley was knocked down a few times. He was a little upset by that. But I was also the one targeted the most. I'm surprised I wasn't knocked down more.
Yeah, true.
I'm pretty sure one of the defining things that got you guys to be able to win that fight was the friendly NPC who you had tag along.
Yeah,
Gonna
pretty
be
much.
honest.
At various times, his 50-50s, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that lost his 50-50s 4 times in a row. Yeah.
Yeah.
That and you barely got off that intimidation check to get all the minions to run away, except one, but you killed him like 2 turns, so whatever. Yeah. Then I've got to prep for this week for you guys actually finding out some of the stuff I told you out of character, and then getting back up to try and stop the fact that there's, you know, a bit of a civil war going on upstairs. Just saying. Might want to put a stop to that.
Yeah.
Other than that, my week this week was fairly uneventful. I mean, went to a surprise party for one of. So I work at a place that's in a different department from where I interned previously for the job that's with not the Lay local amusement park. And went to a surprise party for my manager from when I was interning there, because he's getting married. So that was nice.
Okay.
Other than that, didn't do too much. I got the oil change in the car, I guess.
Yeah. I also want to point out
And
something about...
they're like, "Yo, by the way, the level in your radiator's a little low. Do you want us to do that for you? That'll be like $120. I'm like, no. I don't. We went home, took a look at it. First of all, it's not even low. It's well within margins. And second of all, I was like, oh yes, I'm gonna have like $100 something to put a bit of water in it.
Yeah.
Like, I live in the greater San Francisco area. We don't get snow. We don't need antifreeze in the radiator. We don't need any of that shit.
Also, sorry to quickly circle back and interrupt you, but I do want to point out how emotional the moment was for my character in the finale when turns out my parents were killed by the big bad by an order
Indirectly.
that they gave it indirectly, but still, in her mind, it was directly enough.
Yeah, directly enough. And then I know Jimmy, Jimmy's like, he felt like he was having a panic attack at one point during it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
And I was like, I think we might need to. I think he might need to really like at least either seek. I don't want to. I think maybe you might want to talk to him more in depth about that.
Yeah, it's just the thing
Out
is,
of-
I mean,
Out of chat.
it's also more worrying in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I don't want to talk about it here.
Mm.
Oh,
We're not going to air that out on.
To be fair, it was also he was doing that at like 2 in the morning, so I'm sure that
That's
didn't
fair.
help him.
So was I.
Yeah, it turns out having to coordinate several hours of doing stuff at the same time with people in the west coast of the US and across Europe is very difficult.
Yes.
Let's say.
One way or another, someone's gonna have a really awkward time.
I'm gonna try and make that a bit easier.
Especially
on
if the
next time.
person on the west coast of America can't do the early morning. Anyway,
Yeah, sorry.
Darius, I believe you're next.
Good. Well, what happened this week? I mean, yeah, the D&D session was pretty insane. Once again, like we beat the boss one time, and then the body is moving. There's a second phase, and I was like, with my Souls-like games brain, I was like, fuck. I was like pulled back in like the Elden Ring times. There were a lot of bosses that had 2 phases, and I was like, okay, shit. But that wasn't the biggest problem.
Chat, what they fought is they were fighting an ancient purple dragon, they killed it, and then it got back up as a Draco Lich.
Which once again, this is my first time playing D&D, so so I was always like, what the fuck is this? Like first phase, okay, what is an ancient deep dragon? Then second phase, what the hell is a Draco Lich? It looked scary, you know?
Fuck is a kilometer?
Really. But yeah, that wasn't something that got me really angry. What got me angry, and that's the history, that's basically because of my history with games. I hate one thing, one concept that has been invented in boss fights, and that's called, you just add a few ads to it. A few more little enemies, you know? Pretty fun, yes? I mean, in this case in D&D, it wasn't as bad as I thought, thanks also to the intimidation check. But like, I have a backstory when it comes to games where those are the parts in the games that I hate always the most. Because I'm like, cool.
You do realize what triggered the ads to spawn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yoshi!
But
Also,
yeah, like
by the
always.
way, if that intimidation hadn't gone off, there was more.
Yeah, I know. So that would
told us.
have been pretty insane. But yeah, then that was basically it for me when it came to the D&D session. I mean, I will always remember that I was on 13 HP, and I'm going to remember that. Because it's an interesting number, just also for me, because
I think everyone nearly died except Jimmy.
I mean, to be fair, Jimmy, I think, is also the second tank when it comes to health alone.
Yeah. He has enough health to be a tank, but he's the ranger, so.
Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty well done. The boss fight, I was shocked. I was at one point. The thing is, I'm not at least in this campaign. I'm not like that scared of Mansur having died or something. I was more scared of my amigo Nip and Laura die, because I was far more invested in them, like, and I know that for the people that play those characters, they are far more invested in their characters as I am. Because
And Van Ash was there too. Don't forget about him. He
You know
helped.
what's funny?
yeah, the 50-50 failure.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "Oh, you were so invested. If she had died, you would have been like so sad." I genuinely was prepared for her to die there.
Yeah,
I mean, it had the theme of it.
That's the point in the plot to do it.
I genuinely was ready.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody was like trying to keep her up. I'm like, guys, if she went down, I would have been okay with it.
I know, but you know, it's like
like
it's
I'm,
like, you
I'm
know,
probably the most okay with character death in of the four of us.
you know, like how there are parts in the movies where you like would wish that you could save your favorite character. It was like that, because I was like, no,
That's fair enough.
you're not going to get that. You're not going to get her, and that was like what raced throughout my mind. You are not going to get any of them. Fuck you. Especially when Wix, or what his name was, appeared. I was like, oh, I swear
That
to
asshole
fucking
showed
god.
up.
Yeah.
You know what? If I were to write like a story about this campaign, I would write it from the perspective of Mansur as the silent protagonist, the silent observer.
To be fair, yeah. He literally like was
Like
honestly
hearing,
god, like he was
hearing the other
yeah.
hearing the other stories and writing them down.
I mean, you have to keep in mind, Mansur is basically, he's always silent, he doesn't talk a lot, he doesn't have a crazy backstory, and if you think about it, Kingsley's character Nip is invested and has connections to it. Laura has connections to it, and Mayamiko also, because she has feelings for Laura. Mansur is just there, and he gets pulled into fucking blood.
That's fire. It's cool.
Like by technicality.
Also,
Yeah.
you guys, because it's kind of wrapped up, I'm probably gonna, once we finish the epilogue, kind of like list out just some of the things that were teased that you didn't end up seeing. Like, there were some cool things. I know I've mentioned there was one of the fights you managed to avoid. There was a Colossus.
Yeah. And one statue in the city. Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah. Then there's the statues that were in the king's throne room. Yeah. Actually, the original final boss fight for the original draft of the campaign I had was gonna be in that room, and they were gonna all like stand up and beat the shit out of you. So.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah. Once again, that's also what I find so interesting about D&D, because the ability to just skip, make them so much easier. For example, I mean, okay, that wasn't easy for Mayamiko because I think she also went down. Those riders, that was like when we were close to the capital, where we like used Bixby's hand to explode them and stuff. Yeah. That was also insane, and that's why I realized, okay, damn, because then you made like the gimmick that they would try to destroy the siege things, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the siege engines.
And then I was like, oh, that's why they had health shit.
Yeah.
But we like, hey, luckily, speedran that.
Luckily, Nip had that 1 feet.
That too, yeah. Especially his feet, yes, that he could literally, stop that through.
Oh, also, Amy, because I know you'll know what this is. I don't think anyone noticed it, but I teased the appearance of the Tarrasque at one point.
Oh no, I didn't even notice
What?
that. Fuck. Let's not.
Oh yeah.
Don't ask.
Okay.
All I'm saying is that the challenge.
It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, the challenge rating, which is used to like roughly estimate how powerful monsters are, the Trask is a 30.
Oh boy.
The ancient deep dragon you fought was a 22.
Aha! Okay.
And I believe, if I remember right, the Draco Lich is a 19.
Yeah, it also felt a bit more easier.
Granted, the ancient deep dragon you fought was technically more than that because I buffed it with some extra magic items.
The gem.
Keep in mind,
Oh,
the
yeah,
reason
right.
why
A couple gems, yeah.
the Draco Lich was more irritating wasn't because of
It was because it's all made it like you couldn't heal it,
No
like
healing.
each other or
yeah.
yourself.
yeah,
That
that
was
no
like the
healing
biggest
made
thing.
it a fucking.
And you have to
bitch.
keep in mind the fact is that when the other two went down, no, or three, also Vamenash, they were literally close to the thing. So that meant we have to finish it off, and I was like praying for my amigo, and I was so happy that it also happened.
The one thing I'm sad we never got to do is have a time where your crowbar came in clutch.
I mean, except like opening those doors with like when I gave it to Nip, yeah, that was about it.
Oh,
I
true,
think for
true.
the
You
crowbar.
did that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's like what are you talking about? I remember that. What do you mean?
But yeah, I mean, it didn't have that much of like outside of that an
I more
impact.
mean
But
like
yeah,
you beating someone over the head with it.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, that would have been pretty funny. Yeah.
I wanted the mop to do that. That would have been funny.
But I mean, also what I didn't even think about that is also possible. D&D was like that one time where my amigo and Nip fought like the Dragonborns, and by meantime me and Amy do something entirely else.
Yeah.
Where also Laura was like, you know what, I want to tame it, just for the sake
Yeah.
of it. I'm like, okay.
I think I'm gonna commit Grand Theft Aklut.
Really,
GTA.
really, it was literally that.
But yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, this week I had a meeting with friends yesterday. That was pretty fun. Was there anything else? I don't know if it was this week where I watched the Devil May Cry anime season 2, which triggered me beyond a few ways. I'm not even going to give it a review. I'm just going to say one thing, and I know it's an anime and it needs dramatic like plots and stuff, but bro, Devil May Cry 3 Dante could one-shot that guy, and we're already 2 seasons in. Like, please. What the hell? But yeah, that would have been about it for me, honestly. No. So that means, that's it? I think so, right?
Yep.
Finished. Damn.
Because I was first. Right, to the idea box we go!
Alright. Let's start off with something that's actually not in the idea box because I just saw it. Apparently, Spain has called for the EU to officially recognize a Palestinian state. Based Spain.
Yeah. Sense.
Anyway, top of the idea box proper, we have a follow-up from something that was technically last week, but I didn't be able to see anything in detail on it until this week. Last Saturday, was on May
Saturday?
9th, was Russia's annual Victory Day parade, celebrating how they totally won World War II all by themselves.
Yeah, totally.
So, before we get to the parade itself, Putin apparently paid for Zelensky's ceasefire on only Red Square by promising a 1,000 for 1,000 prisoner of war exchange, which he then immediately tried to back out of. And Zelensky went, yo, US, you publicly announced this and took responsibility to make it happen, so make sure it happens. Much to my surprise, it seems like the US actually went to make it happen, because later on I have that they've actually started that exchange going. Anyway, the parade itself, the only vehicles in it were like a couple cars that are in it every year, where they have like some guy go back and forth to salute everyone. They have the best shot of the entire parade was a camera inside the big clock tower showing off the internals of the clock. They have a CGI shot of the Kremlin, the building.
God.
Specifically a panning, like, shot where it's like panning around the dome with the flag on top of it. They have a CGI shot of the blanks being loaded into the artillery for the salute, like, as if the camera is the shell going into the artillery piece.
That's a lot of CGI.
Yeah. One of the guns fires out of sequence. Half of them stop firing halfway through the routine.
Really sure.
They jump cut the propaganda footage twice, thrice,
Who would have
and then
thought?
a fourth time. 4 times they cut to propaganda footage during the parade. The first time was like guys like on a training ground pretending to storm a trench. You could tell it was on a training ground because they were clean. The second time they had a shot of an SUV. The third time was like a boat sailing around and the inside of a submarine that was probably not actually the submarine, but the training facility, landside training facility for the submarine, because it was a bit big inside. And then the fourth time was one of their ICBM trucks driving down a dirt road.
Oh.
During the parade, you could spot that they had painted markings on the ground so people knew where to go. I'd like to point out that unit that had the painted markings for where they needed to go. Before this war, they were able to do it from memory. Just saying. The North Koreans were there, and they, by the way, they had the best marching. They had chrome-plated paratrooper AK-74s. Like, they were shiny, polished chrome. It was hilarious. The guy who was leading the North Koreans was either... I'm not sure. He's either very inebriated or his knees don't work. Because he was walking really weird. Just saying. The North Koreans were the best marching. The Russian Air Force was in second, then the Navy, then the old veterans who were just a bit out of step because they're out of practice. The Marines were okay. The Army could not march.
Oof.
Oof.
They were so out of step with each other. It was so bad. They had a CGI flyover, which used the same CGI models as last year, but they at least the weather matched this year. And then they have an actual flyover using, I think it's the Su-25 Frogfoot. Yeah, the Su-25 Frogfoot, which is basically the Russian version of the A-10. Which is probably there because if it went anywhere near the front line, it would immediately die. You know, like the A-10 would. Also, they were wobbling around horribly in their flyover. The parade T-34 was nowhere to be seen. And Putin, basically as soon as the parade ends, leaves. He fucks off back to his Führer bunker. I found out he didn't do the thing he's always done at the end of the parade, is go to the World War II memorial and lay a wreath.
Not even that well.
Yeah, he had to get back to his Führer bunker because the ceasefire was only for the duration of the parade.
Yeah.
Also, there's like a theory that he was less worried about Ukraine drone striking him, more like some oligarch drone striking him.
Probably, yeah. There must be a lot of people now wanting to get at his neck.
There's also been also the entire parade was on like a 15-minute delay for the stream, just in case. I like that 15-minute delay didn't change the time on the clock tower. So,
Oh, okay.
there's also been some footage of the Victory Day parades in some other Russian cities that are, less glamorous than Moscow's. They arguably had more vehicles if you count the wheelchairs.
Oh wow.
Because they had like the veterans of the war doing a march carrying flags. Yeah, basically everyone who was in those was on crutches or in wheelchairs. So,
I wonder why.
yeah. I'd like to point out, apparently there are some like towns in Russia that they've nearly passed their World War II casualty numbers.
Jesus fucking Christ.
But we'll get back to that at the end when we do the Meeps War News segment, which is actually kind of long this week. Anyway, we're going to the great state of Alabama. Famous for surprisingly not having the laxest incest laws in the United States. They actually have relatively extensive ones.
Florida.
Yeah. Anyway, the Speaker of the Alabama State House, or the state legislature, says that he hopes the U.S. Supreme Court overturns the 14th Amendment.
Why'd you have to start with that one?
Because it was one of the first things in here.
No, it wasn't.
For those of you not aware, the 14th Amendment is the one that granted citizenship to black people.
Was it?
It's birthright citizenship.
No, I'm saying, was it one of the first ones in there?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Alright.
Next up, Amy. Pokemon anniversary
Alright.
stuff.
So, y'all know it's the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. I mean,
Uh-huh.
y'all better
Quite a
know.
while.
How many of you here like Pokemon?
That's a very tough question, Emmy.
I'm waiting for an answer.
I think we all do.
Or what?
I'm hoping for more than just one of you to respond. Do you like Pokemon?
Naturally.
Mostly the designs. I
There we
still
go.
haven't played all of the games.
Good enough. That's good enough for me. You like it. You like it. That's good enough for me. Anyway,
Yeah.
so in the U.S. at least, and we'll talk about some things that were happening outside the U.S. as well, but we're gonna just talk about the U.S. because this is what I've heard about in the U.S. There's a line, there's a chain you've probably heard about. It's a small chain. of
Small
stores
one, okay.
Called Target.
A Target, yeah, quite a lot smaller.
Yeah. Quite small.
Quite niche.
Significant. Oh, only people on the East Coast have ever heard of it. I'd never heard of it until I'd moved here. Sarcasm.
Something in your throat?
Yeah. I don't have enough water. 1 second. Could somebody redeem hydrate?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Anyway, yeah, so they had a partnership with the Pokemon Company to do a bunch of things involving the anniversary, including clothes, including having straight up stands for a bunch of things. And yeah, you know all that shit was scalped. But it was the extent to which that was incredible. People literally stole the display stands and then put them on sale for like $600 on eBay. People took fucking people took friggin' clothes that were on how do I put this? People took clothes that were up for sale for the anniversary, and I want you guys to guess about how much they went for. About. In scalped.
In scalped. I'll start with
They were
1,000.
about 60. They were about 60. You're too high, actually.
Damn, okay.
At least this was when I last checked. They started around like 25 to 60, from my understanding.
Okay. Does anyone else want to guess?
They went, well, if nobody else wants to guess to keep things moving, because we started a bit late, about 250. which is actually surprisingly low. But I think the one that really got me going was there were Pop-Tarts. Anybody know about Pop-Tarts? You know, the little things you put in your toaster, you push down the thing,
Yeah.
and boom, they're
The best pop
they're-
that I know is a meme.
Yeah, they're little toasters, little toaster pastries that Americans have for breakfast. Because, God, we have the most healthy breakfast, don't we?
Yeah, I do.
We're absolutely most healthy. We couldn't have had vegetables or sausage. Get that shit out of here. What's wrong with you? We gotta have sugar.